My name is Kathy Walters, and have you ever dialed 911 by mistake? Well, it's kind of embarrassing, but it happens. Call takers and dispatchers have problems with that every day. But when it's your emergency, it's really important. If it's one of your friends or your co-workers or family member. I've been a dispatcher now for 4 years. I've had some bad calls and it gets stressful at times. And I'm here today to share with you about a 911 call. I want to inform you about before a 911 call, during a 911 call, and what dispatchers go through on a daily basis. And that's according to the Public Safety Telecommunicators magazine, September of 2013. And things that you should know before an emergency. You need to have a list of your emergency numbers on your refrigerator or somewhere easily gotten to. Your numbers on your address need to be where they can be seen at night and during bad weather. And you need to know whether or not to call 911 or to call the non-emergency line. And an example would be if you drive up and your house is on fire and you see flames coming out the door and smoke, then you need to call, by all means, call 911. But if you drive up and you see smoke behind the house, coming up over behind the house, you might want to check first. Your husband might be grilling out back. And then what you should do during a call, when you call 911, try to be calm as possible and talk to the dispatcher and tell them what's going on, and don't scream because it distorts the phone and it's hard for the dispatchers to understand you. And don't hang up, because during the silence times when the dispatcher is not talking, she's probably trying to get you help through the first responders by putting things into the computer-aided dispatch system, which we call a CAD, and that's according to the National 911 program. And problems faced by the 911 dispatchers daily is that old cell phones that have been disconnected or no longer work, and they have battery life. As long as they have battery life, they'll call 911. So please don't give your children old phones to play with. And lots of people, when there's lots of people around and there's an emergency, try and take a minute and look around and see if somebody else is calling, because if there's somebody else that's calling, then if we have too many calls, we're trying to handle the calls instead of being able to get your first responders en route. And people are hesitant to call 911, and they'll call a friend instead. Well, if that happens to you, have them to hang up and call 911, because third-party information is really hard to dispatch your first responders. And in conclusion, I have informed you on how a 911 call should be handled. I've told you what to do before, during, and what dispatchers go through every day. And I'm a 911 dispatcher, and I understand from both sides of the situation, because I have been that 911 caller. And in the event that you have an emergency, I hope these tips help you. And from the Telecommunicators Code of Ethics by Everett Carter, I want to read: I will constantly strive to achieve those objectives and ideals which govern my profession, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, public communications. And thank you.